they do have veteran leadership. I'm just saying that you have to remember when talking to like these Dukes in Kentucky who really thrives themselves on incoming freshmen, that they are still freshmen. They're not NBA players yet. They are still freshmen.
But they're incredible freshmen.
Oh, they are they're unbelievable.
I would not be surprised if every single player in that starting five is a lottery pick.
Oh, I mean, you go through that starting five, I really doubt it. I mean, the only person that I would say maybe not is Willie Cauley-Stein because he's a little bit older.
Yeah.
But yeah, for sure, he's going to be first. Every single person in that starting five is going to be first round for sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
100%.
Not a chance they're not.
Unless they get hurt, of course.
Well,
but,
yeah. What do you think, Andy?
Well, I just wanted to add one more thing. And first of all, I think it's pretty funny that veteran leadership on Kentucky is a sophomore. So, I mean, that just shows the kind of depth, and that's one of the things I worry about with them in the tournament. My biggest reasoning behind not thinking that Kentucky can go all the way is that you can't predict the tournament, ever. I mean, when was the last time the best team actually won the championship? And the first thing that comes to my mind is, I mean, this could be debated, but probably North Carolina back in 2008 when Tyler Hansbrough was there. That might be the last time that the best team in the country actually won the championship. So I just don't think that, I think that the numbers are against them there. And in regards to their lottery picks, I think Willie Cauley-Stein is actually probably going to go first out of their team. I think he's going to be the number one pick coming out of Kentucky. He'll probably be number 2 in the draft, I think, right now. I think Emmanuel Mudiay is going to be before him. Other than that, I'm not entirely sure if the Harrison twins are going to be lottery picks, but they'll definitely be first-round picks. So,
you think he's going to go Willie Cauley-Stein over Jaleel?
I do.
That's
I just think that he has the NBA-ready talent right now. Jaleel, while he is amazing, we've seen a couple times this season where it looked like that freshman effect was kind of taking over him. Like, it just seemed like maybe he just needed a little bit more preparedness. And I do think he's going to be great in his first year in the NBA. I think he's going to be a Rookie of the Year contender as long as something crazy doesn't happen. But I think Cauley-Stein has more natural NBA prowess than Okafor does.
The thing with Okafor that I notice is that a lot of times it seems like he's not even trying on defense. I mean, yeah, he'd fit right in the NBA, I guess. But
he's got the perfect NBA. I mean, being 6'11" and having guys that are 6'9", 6'8" guarding you really don't have to try. But Julio is constantly putting up big numbers, and I think he's going to go first. And I honestly think Karl Anthony Towns is going to go before Willie Cauley-Stein simply because he's younger. He's younger. He's a little bit bigger. I mean, they're pretty much the same player. True post, rebounds the crap out of the ball. But he's just younger. He's got a little bit more. He's a little more raw. He's got a lot more upside potential to him, which is what Cauley-Stein doesn't. Which is why I think Cauley-Stein will drop a little more than what some people think.
Well, with this being said, who do you guys think is the number 1 overall pick in the draft?
Well, I already said it a minute ago, Emmanuel Mudiay. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him.
Yep.
He was the number 2 player in the country last year in high school, and he was committed to SMU, but then he decommitted and decided to go play ball in overseas. I don't know if it was in Europe or in the Middle East or whatever, but he wanted to get paid right away, and he's going to go back to the NBA next season after that 1 year of eligibility. So, I mean, that's my pick, I think, hands down. Shoot it back over to you for your pick.
I'd have to agree with Mudiay. I was watching some tape on him, and he's just an incredible ball handler. Kind of reminds you of a little bit like Allen Iverson in a sense. And there's a lot to be said about the fact that he's playing in the Chinese league right now. And I mean, even though he's not starting, he's on the bench. And I mean, Will Bynum's ahead of him, and it's like, oh, Will Bynum isn't that great, but I mean, he's a bona fide NBA veteran, and he can learn a lot from him just by being his teammate. And he can learn a lot. He can learn a lot watching. There's a different style of play overseas where they do more cuts and more passing. And I think there's a lot to be said about learning against professional talent instead of collegiate. And I mean, some can argue that the college basketball is better, but I don't think so. I think there's a certain sense of professionalism that he's getting out of that, and I think that'll benefit him greatly moving forward.
It's really two different things. You see, when people playing over in foreign professional leagues, they're playing against ex-NBA players, ex-college players, that are almost to that next level. So that's what you got to take that into account. But then when you're looking at college, you're playing against more prospects, more higher potential people. So it's like you're weighing the scale between the two things there. So that's why I don't think Emmanuel Mudiay will go 1, to be honest, just because he's in foreign land.
But then again, it also depends on who picks first. I mean, if it's the 76ers, I think it'd be Mudiay because they already have their big men. They got Embiid, and why would they pick Okafor?
For sure. I mean, and they need a point guard. They just traded away Michael Carter-Williams. to the Bucks.
Granted, the worst
need
team in the NBA right now is the Knicks.
The Knicks.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, the Knicks are.
Well, the Knicks need everything. I mean,
That's true.
If I were the Knicks, I'd honestly try to trade down a little bit, try to get more picks out of the deal. Because they just need talent, man.
Yeah.
All they have is it's Carmelo and company.
The Knicks will get Jaleel. The 76ers need a point guard. The Lakers are going to start getting up there because they're awful. They need.
I think the Lakers should get Tyus Jones. I think that'd be a good addition.
I mean, Jordan Clarkson is playing very well for the Lakers right now, so I think maybe they go with somebody like a more of a small forward. So maybe Stanley Johnson out of Arizona.
Okay.
So somebody like that.
Where do you think Frank Kaminsky goes? He's a good collegiate player, and we've seen that a lot, like Doug McDermott.
That's the thing.
And Doug McDermott hasn't translated out, but I mean, from everything that it looks like, he's a grinder. He plays great defense. Got a good post scoring game.
Kaminsky, he won't crack the top 10. I don't think.
You don't think so?
You have to remember he's 22 years old. He's a 4-year player here, so he's older. Same thing going back to Willie Cauley-Stein. Frank Kaminsky's obviously a little bit better than Willie Cauley-Stein, but I don't think he's athletic.
His skills don't translate out into the NBA as
Right.
much. I mean, in a league where it's predominantly athleticism. Well, there's a lot of skill in the NBA. Don't get me wrong, but like if you're not athletic, chances are you won't succeed. I mean, you look at guys like Jimmer Fredette who could just shoot the lights out of a gym, but don't have an ounce of athleticism in them, that are riding the pine or not even employed anymore. You get a sense of that. Like Kaminsky is a great all-around basketball player, but he doesn't have the athleticism to succeed. I don't think.
3 players that pop into my mind when I think of Kaminsky, just thinking here, is at best case scenario Dirk Nowitzki. An American Dirk
I can see that.
Nowitzki plays very similar. Can step out, can spread the court.
Great mid-range.
Yeah, if I'd say a mediocre version of Kaminsky would be more of a Spencer Hawes.
Okay.
Not as good of a three-point shooter, but still he's a grinder, can rebound, can do really it all. A great pick and pop guy. And then at worst case scenario, I'd say John Lure. Can still kind of do a little bit of everything. And John Lure is Big Ten basketball. I mean, he was a great college basketball player, and he hasn't amounted to that really anything in the NBA. So that's why those are my 3 players that I think Frank Kaminsky will fall into one of those 3 categories.
Yeah, one of those molds. I agree.
I'm going to go ahead and throw one more thing in there. The first player actually that I think of when I think of Frank Kaminsky is Gordon Hayward, and I don't necessarily think Frank Kaminsky's necessarily as good as Hayward is because he's been a bit of a surprise in the NBA. He's actually very successful so far. I think it's going to be kind of one of those situations. So I think Kaminsky will go in the first round, but I think it's going to be late in the first round, probably in the 20s, and then he might sit for a year or 2 years, and he might struggle at first, but I think he might turn into a very profitable role player for whichever team ends up picking him up. Gabby?
Okay, so guys, let's get into some NBA. First off, I want to talk about who the best team right now is in the NBA. And I'll start off with my pick. I have the Washington Warriors
Golden State Warriors, I believe. Sorry.
Golden State Warriors being the best.
It happens. Yes. Okay, I'll go ahead. I'm just going to give you my top 3 teams. Number 1 and 2 for me are very close, and they are the Golden State Warriors and the Atlanta Hawks. And the only separation between them is that I'm giving Golden State the edge because of the Western Conference factor. They play a much harder schedule than the Hawks do, and even though the Hawks have the best record in the NBA, and they've been the biggest surprise by far this season, I'd say, I still think that the Warriors would win in a best-of-7 series. As for my third team, I'm going to go for a little bit of a surprise, and this is based on who's playing best right now, and that's the Oklahoma City Thunder. They have stormed back after the injuries. He is doing great. They've stormed back after the injuries. They finally got back up to 8th place, and they are in the playoffs. And, unless they move up, that could be a nightmare situation for the Warriors in the first round of the playoffs. But I think that the Thunder are even going to move up more. I think they could probably move up to maybe 5th at best. And they're really set prime for a good playoff push. You guys?
Yeah, if we're going overall, the entire stretch of the season, I'd have to agree that the Warriors and Hawks are the best in the NBA. But I think if we're going based off of who is the best right now, you got to go with the Oklahoma City Thunder. And as hard as it is for me to say, the Cleveland Cavaliers. Those are just 2 teams that are playing lights out basketball lately. They just light it up game after game. It's crazy. And you look at the Thunder, their team that's still winning without KD. I mean, Russell Westbrook is
Russell Westbrook on there. I mean,
Russell Westbrook is a
kind of like
freaking
taking
triple-double
over that
machine.
role.
He's Rajon Rondo if Rajon Rondo could score. Like,
I know he's only missed a part of the season, but I mean, comeback player of the year right there. I mean, he's really had a great season.
yeah, and he's putting on the Batman mask tonight, so we'll see how that goes. But he's carrying the team on his back, and that trade before the deadline was absolutely huge. I think that's the most underrated trade of the headline or of the deadline. A lot of teams got a lot of credit, or there's a lot of hype around all the point guards moving around. But you look at a trade that built the team the most. It was getting Enes Kanter out of Utah. That he's a guy that will give you about 8 to 10 rebounds a game, put up about 12 or 15 bench points. Very solid player, takes a lot of pressure off of Serge Ibaka. He's not exactly the same type of rim protector, but he's a solid big man for that team that can continue to get you the ball and give you grinder points when you have the bench unit in.
Yeah, definitely. That's a great, especially when Steven Adams comes back.
Yeah.
Because he's hurt right now. I mean, OKC's riddled with injuries. They don't crack my top 3. I'm actually going to do top 4 because I think my 2 and 3 are basically the exact same.
Okay.
But Golden State Warriors, obviously at 1. I'm not even going to need to talk about them. Everyone talks
everyone
about
knows who they are.
2 and 3. I think it is really a tie between the Cavs and the Hawks. If you just look at it, the Cavs have been playing very, very well lately. Yeah, they dropped the Sunday's match with the Houston Rockets. I mean, but they didn't have Kyrie. LeBron went 3 for 11.
The Rockets didn't have Dwight Howard, so I mean, you got to look at the.
I know, I get that too, but you cannot put Kyrie and Dwight even in the same.
They're both stars.
Hey, Dwight's not anymore though.
Dwight is a bona fide star. He is a top 5 center in the NBA. I don't care what you say.
Look, I can't even name 5 other quality centers. I can't even name 5 other quality centers. So the depth at that position is awful. First of all, so yeah. He's definitely a top 10 center, but I just Dwight Howard was relevant a couple years ago, still relevant, but he's not nearly
He's just hurt,
as
man.
good.
He's a great player, and he can change that. He takes that team to a different level when he's in there.
No, they're just as good without him.
They are not just as
they're
good
19 and 8 without
You
Dwight
cannot
Howard.
say any team is better without Dwight Howard.
They're 19 and 8.
Look at the Lakers. Look at the Magic.
We got a
Both of them
call.
were
We got a
terrible
call. They're
after-
19 and 8
guys, I think
without
we have
Dwight.
a caller. Let's see.
Got a caller on the show. I'll be interested to hear what you say once Taylor gets you hooked up, man.
While you were saying that, I was trying to think of 5 other quality centers. I was coming up with DeMarcus Cousins, Pau Gasol, I guess, and Joakim
He's
Noah.
more of a stretch four,
Whichever one you would consider as center.
Joakim Noah, yeah.
Yeah.
Marcin Gortat.
Yeah. I mean, there's not a lot of star-studded.
Who's on that
Noel,
caller?
I guess. I don't really. What is he?
I don't know, power forward.
Who?
Nerlens.
Nerlens.
Okay, we got a caller.
He's 4'5". When Joel Embiid gets back, he'll be 4.
Yeah. So,
Do we have a caller? Is it a guy or is it an animal?
what's going on here? It's I'm gonna sound like a Labrador.
Hey, dude on the right on the screen. I see you in fight all the time.
We can't hear you.
We can't hear you. If you could
Speak a
repeat that again.
little louder.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah. So, can you repeat that?
All right. Dude on the right.
Me?
I see you in fight all the time. What's up? No, the other right.
Cool.
Bye.
Thank you.
All right. Well,
But
that
the
was
question is,
weird.
does she really see you at Pike all the time?
Well, I haven't been to
Wait,
Pike
is
in a minute.
it their right or our right?
Yeah, I was still trying to figure that out. I don't know.
I don't know who she's talking about.
You go to Pike at all?
I'm there quite a bit playing basketball, but
I play basketball sometimes. Yeah.
Well, anyway, why don't we
We'll rock paper, scissors,
here.
rock.
let's talk about fight. No, I'm just kidding.
All right, Gabby, what's the next topic for us, Gabby?
The
All right,
best
so
pickup
right now
basketball.
the big controversy is like who is the MVP? We have Stephen Curry doing really good. We have Russell Westbrook, James Harden. I mean, guys, it's a tough decision right now. Who do you think deserves the MVP?
Well, as looking at it as a whole over the season, I mean, for me personally, there's no debate at all. It's Stephen Curry. He is playing ridiculous. This is the best season of his life by far. One of the best seasons by a point guard we've seen in a while. He's in the top 5 of almost all the major stat categories. I believe he's in the top 5 in points, assists, and steals. Might be wrong, but he's just playing out of his mind, and he is just he's definitely not carrying the Warriors. But without him, they definitely wouldn't be the best team in the NBA. What about you guys?
I'm gonna have to say James Harden. You're not gonna agree, but just that game against the Cavaliers just shows what he can do. He wins you games. He's probably the most efficient scorer in the NBA. Look at, and it's not he's not always just doing fadeaway jump shots and things. He gets to the line, which is crazy. He's about 100 free throw attempts above the second leading eligible player, and he's a guy that does a lot. He's just it's a terrible comparison, but he reminds me a lot of Kobe when he was younger. He just blows up for points. He's got what NBA announcers like to call spurtability. He does. He's got that certain swag. He's just an amazing scorer. He just puts the Rockets on his back. Dwight Howard's been out this whole time, and you say they're better without him. I don't think they are, man.
19-8.
That just shows how good James Harden is.
Okay, that just shows you how they don't need Dwight Howard.
They don't not need Dwight. Any team in the NBA needs a good rim protector.
Hey, no doubt. And they got Monty Eunice. They have players. They have Terrence Jones. They got Josh Smith now.
But they also have Dwight Howard.
No, they don't. They're 19-8 without him. He hasn't played.
But they'd be better with him.
They're 19-8. They're the exact same with or without him.
Yeah,
they'd be slightly better with him.
Slightly better.
They would be 20-8.
They would go from an average center to a star center.
I'm actually going to jump in real quick and make the argument that they would be better without him, not because they would miss him, but because he takes up a lot of cap space, and they're obviously a great team without him. They still have plenty of big men, and if they clear up all that cap space, they could pick up a bunch of different role players and maybe some future draft picks. So, that's my thought.
I'd say, James Harden, I'll go back to the MVP race, but James Harden is a great pick, obviously, because of what he can do offensively. I don't like how he kicked my boy LeBron in the gonads the other night. That really made me mad. But that's all
LeBron was playing dirty that entire game, too.
No, Patrick Beverley's playing dirty.
LeBron has the right to play dirty.
Thank you. Don't even get me.
So James Harden doesn't?
No, he's not LeBron.
He does, but don't complain about LeBron playing dirty. That's
if he plays
LeBron
dirty, you can expect to get dirty play in return.
Yeah, I guess, but.
You freaking tackle the guy.
Don't expect LeBron James not to play dirty.
I say this though, James Harden doesn't do it on the defensive side for me. He just doesn't. Obviously, go on Vine. Go on Vine. You can just see.
Yeah, but go on Vine and look at clips of Brandon Knight, and he looks like the worst basketball player to ever touch the court.
That's very true too.
You only get the lowlights on defense. I was watching the game against the Cavs, and he was playing good defense.
He was. James Harden is an athlete. He plays good defense when he wants to, but he just doesn't do it on a day-to-day basis. Which brings me to my next point, and who's my MVP. Everybody knows I'm a Cavaliers fan, so everybody's gonna think I'm biased here. But MVP to me is somebody who the team literally cannot win without. And LeBron James, when he's not playing on the Cavs, 2-9. The Cavs are 2-9 without LeBron.
Can't argue with that.
You cannot argue with those stats. Without Dwight Howard, they're 19-8. Those are decent stats or decent numbers. But 2-9 without LeBron, it's agonizing. And one of those two wins took Kyrie to score 55 points to win. Kyrie's not going to do that every game. LeBron's not there. That's why I think personally LeBron is. Cannot be out of the talk at least for MVP. I still think
he's not out of the talk, but I don't think he's leading the pack.
I'm not admitting that he's leading the pack. I still think that if the Cavaliers can still can end second seed in the East, because they're not going to beat out the Hawks. The Hawks are just having too great of a year. But James Harden,
I don't know. I actually think they could. I think the Hawks are a great regular season team, but I think when it gets to the playoffs, I don't think they have nearly enough experience on that team to succeed.
Oh, no doubt. I'm saying they're not going to get the second seed just because of the Hawks record.
I got you.
But I honestly think Russell Westbrook is in contention, but I don't think OKC's having that good of a year team-wise, and to have him be up there, because I really think MVP needs to go to the best player on the best team that without would not even be close to the best team.
See, if we're going best player on the best team, it's Steph Curry, but I don't think Steph Curry is the most valuable player in the NBA.
Let me clarify. I agree there, but
the Hawks have the best record, but
when I say the best team, best player on the best team, I mean the best player on one of the top 5 best teams, that if you took him out, he would have the greatest impact without. Now, we haven't seen what the Rockets can do without James Harden. We haven't really seen what the Warriors can do without Steph Curry, but I'm just saying that 2-9 without LeBron. Curry, they got for the Warriors, they got Klay Thompson that can back up Curry.
They have good bigs. They got
Right, they got great
Barnes,
bigs. Rockets, they really don't have anybody other than James Harden.
See, I disagree. So, I think one of the most underrated players on the Rockets is actually Trevor Ariza.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Same here.
He was shutting down LeBron James.
He's a great defensive player.
He is. He's incredible. And as a Wizards fan, it pained me to see him go last year. He's always a consistent threat from behind the arc. He plays good offense. He's a willing passer, and on the defensive side, man, he's top 5 perimeter defender in the NBA.
Oh, no doubt. That last second in the fourth quarter, when it was tie ball game, and LeBron got the ball with 15 seconds left, Trevor Ariza shut him down and made him take a step back, longest 2 possible. Which I mean, not many players are going to make that shot. If he did, that was going to be a crazy shot, but. Kudos to that's all Trevor Ariza right there.
And Trevor Ariza had him locked down the entire game. And if you think about it, everyone was like, man, LeBron James missed a lot of free throws. Honestly, I think he was frustrated. I think LeBron James was so frustrated from not being able to perform because of Trevor Ariza that it actually got to him on the free throw line.
There's a great crowd in Houston. It's loud. He missed a lot of shots. And then the defense, obviously, missed a lot of shots because of great defense. Free throw line got to him. I mean, it was just a bad day for LeBron, even though he had a lot. He
shot worse than DeAndre Jordan.
Yeah, I mean,
that game.
He shot.
That's a hard thing to accomplish.
From the free throw line, yeah. As I say, Jordan is completely the opposite. DeAndre Jordan, 72% from the field, 40% from the free throw line. Like it's night and day with those guys.
It's ridiculous, yeah.
What's next?
All right, so now we're going to get into some college baseball. Your college baseball has started up, and the Clemson Tigers beat South Carolina, who's the 16th ranked team, 2 out of 3 games this past weekend, and lost a close battle 5-4 to Winthrop yesterday afternoon. The Tigers are off to a 7-4 start as they head up to Raleigh for a 3-game series against the Wolfpack. The season just started, but what do you think? What do you guys think about Tiger baseball this year?
Well, this is awkward. I've been to almost every single one of Clemson's ball games. Obviously, not the ones in Georgia, not the ones in Carolina or Greenville. But they're 7-4 this year. They started off really slow to West Virginia, dropping 2 or 3 to a West Virginia team that really didn't impress me. But the thing I'm looking forward to is the pitching staff of Clemson. They have a 2.18 ERA. They're holding batters to a 2.15 batting average. I mean, those are some crazy pitching statistics. So, I mean, you go down our list, our top 4 guys, Brady Corner, 129, Zach Irwin, 180, Matthew Crownover, 2.0, and Alex Schnell, who's a bullpen guy, is 2.92. He's appeared in 5 of the 7 games. So our pitching staff is solid. It's young. It's solid. Our top 3 starters are juniors, but our bullpen is pretty much all freshmen. And they're playing well. There's only one guy that has a 4 ERA, and then the next lowest guy is a 3.8. So our ERA and our pitching is phenomenal. But the thing that worries me is batting. We have a 2.99 batting average, which is pretty good. It's not too bad. Tyler Krieger batting 4.65 for us. He's really our lone stud at the plate, other than Reed Roman, who's batting 4.21.
You look at guys like Slayton, and he gets on base, and I think call me a Moneyball fanatic, but that's all that matters, you know.
Hey,
as long as you get there. I mean,
I agree 100%. As long as you get there, but when you're batting 4.65, you're going to get on base at least 4.65. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So those guys are obviously doing well. Tyler Krieger's getting on base 5.60, something like that. But another thing that worries me about the Tigers is their, I want to say. They score most of their runs. I think they scored like 10 or so runs in the first inning, and then they scored 11 runs or something like that, and 17 runs in the 6th and 7th inning. But that's only when they're up a lot. They're 0-4 when they going into the 8th inning when they're losing, and they're 0-3 going into the 6th inning or 7th inning or later when they're losing as well. So they're not a comeback team.
They can't close.
They can't close, and 2, they can't make other teams not close. They can't come back. And
they looked like they were going to do it against Winthrop. We were down, what was it, 5-0, and then it ended up being
came back
5-4.
5-4. Yeah, I mean, or 5-1, and then came back 5-4. that's one thing that we need to look at because baseball is a long season. You play the most games.
School will be over, but the season will still be gone.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, but that's the one thing I want to look for is comeback ability. I mean, if that's even a word, I don't think it is, but comeback ability, it's a word now. Comeback ability of Clemson Tigers to see if they can.
Clutchness.
Clutch. I mean, because especially in the tournament when you're playing quality teams, you're going to be down games.
Yeah.
So they really need to get out of those. They need to make sure that they can win some of those tight games.
I agree. Back to you guys.
Okay, guys, so now we're going to skip over to some NFL. As many of you have heard, breaking news last night, the Philadelphia Eagles traded away 2013 NFC Offensive Player of the Year and 3-time Pro Bowler LaShawn McCoy to the Buffalo Bills for Kiko Alonso. Now that we're getting into thick of the NFL offseason, what are some things you guys think you guys are looking for, and who are the big free agents that you guys are looking for to be moved?
Well, first, I just want to address the LaShawn McCoy trade. You really have to think about it on two sides. I think from the Bills' side, it was brilliant. I mean, they really just made a huge improvement to an offense that was already, surprisingly good last year, especially if they hang on to Kyle Orton. And from the Phillies' side, I think it's a little risky, but it has its opportunity for a reward because he did struggle a little bit last year. He was still good, but he wasn't the same player he was in 2013. So I think in the long run, you kind of have to wait and see with Philadelphia, but I do think that the clear of cap space and other things might allow them to maybe pick up a running back in the draft, and we'll see. I mean, they already have a lot of players that they have to pay a lot of money because they have some of the biggest stars in the league, so we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, addressing the Bills trades have been pretty active. I mean, they got LaShawn McCoy from the Eagles, and then they just picked up Matt Castle today from the Vikings. Brilliant on the Buffalo Bills part. I mean, you got Rex Ryan in there, and he's already making his presence felt. What is the typical Rex Ryan philosophy? Got a good quarterback that can manage games, strong running game, strong defense. What has he got? He's got a manager of a quarterback, Matt Castle, and he's got an amazing running back in LaShawn McCoy.
And a solid defense. I mean, Buffalo had, I'm pretty sure,
almost the best in the league last year.
Yeah, I think they're top 3, something like that. Top defense. One thing, again, commenting on that trade, McCoy, since he was drafted, has the 3rd most rushing yards and 4th most rushing touchdowns since he's been drafted by the Eagles in the 2nd round.
Yeah.
With that being said, I love the trade, obviously, on the Bills side, and I love it on the Eagles side. Remember a couple weeks ago, we have another caller.
Oh, welcome aboard.
Always in my point. Always. It's always in my point.
They don't want to cut me off because they want to hear what I say.
I guess my opinion means nothing. Are you there?
Yeah. Hi.
How you doing?
I'm good.
Good.
Where do you think Vic Beasley's going to go and what number in the draft?
Ooh,
that's a good question.
Great
Yeah.
question. Thank you for
Thank you
your
for calling.
call. Yeah. Well, I've been talking about this with a couple of people. I would love personally to see Vic Beasley. I think Vic Beasley's going to go later on in the draft. I think bottom half of the draft.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think he will go later on in the draft.
And the team that I think that he could fit fit decently with, depending on where they want to put him, is Green Bay. Green Bay's got already a decent defense, but they're getting old.
Yeah.
Green Bay's defense is getting old. They just cut A.J. Hawk. So I would love to see some Clemson guys go to Green Bay. I know Vic Beasley's been rumored to go around that area. I know Stephon Anthony's been rumored to go to that team. And Stephon Anthony would be a perfect fit for Green Bay.
Yeah.
They need an inside linebacker, and Stephon Anthony would translate perfectly, I think, to the NFL.
2 teams. I disagree with you guys. I think Vic Beasley goes in the top half of the 1st round.
I would love it if that happened.
And I think he can go as high as number 4 to the Oakland Raiders.
Whoa.
Wow,
That's a front.
bold. That's bold.
That's a front office that prides itself on athletic players that show out in the combine. Their defense is a paper bag. They could use a pass rusher. I mean, who do they have as pass rushers currently?
Who do they have in general, offense or defense? They need a lot.
And I mean that's a front office that's notorious for their for overvaluing players based on the combine. I'm not saying Vic Beasley isn't that good, but he definitely helped the stock with the draft. And I think the second one is the Atlanta Falcons at 8. I think that's another good fit for Vic Beasley. That's a team that's like the Packers. They have an aging defense, and they could really afford to get better pass rushers, especially on the edge. And you look at Vic Beasley; he's a guy that can play in any scheme now. Put on a lot of weight.
Very true. I mean,
he's up to about
He's
he's at 246, 250.
He's a big guy and he's fast.
He's fast. He has potential. We never saw him in coverage because he was always, just rushing down the edge.
I mean, he can play defensive end and he can play linebacker. Very, very versatile.
He had the fastest 40 time among all defensive ends and linebackers.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
He's an athletic freak of nature.
He is. He's a great player.
What do you guys think?
I kind of peg him as, this is a very generous comparison, but I kind of peg him as a less talented, smaller DeMarcus Ware. He's that kind of versatility with him. He can play on the line, in the back. And I'm going to kind of go in between both of you. I don't think he's going to go super late, but I definitely don't think he's going to go in the first round. I think maybe third round, mid-third round probably. There's plenty of teams that could use him. You guys already named a few, the Falcons, and teams like the Giants could use it on the front end. There's plenty of teams out there that could take him, so we'll just have to wait and see.
And just one more dream scenario for me would be the Baltimore Ravens. And of course, I'm a Clemson guy, I'm a Ravens guy, but it would make sense because Pernell McPhee is on his way out. He had 6.5 sacks this year. Terrell Suggs isn't getting any younger. Apparently, they don't give you youth juice at Ball So Hard University. Elvis Dumerville is just a specialist. He's getting older too. He's about 30 now, 31. Vic Beasley would be a perfect fit in the Ravens defense. That's a team that plays both 3-4 and 4-3. He could be an edge rusher in 4-3, and he could be an outside linebacker in the 3-4.
He's going to be a perfect fit, honestly, wherever he goes.
Yeah, that's true.
I really think that.
I agree.
I just want to know if you guys had any other thoughts on the draft. It's still a little far away. It's about in a month and a half or so. But kind of just wondering where we think is going to happen at the top of the first round. That's really the only thing that's interesting to talk about at this point. Number one with the Bucks. They go Jameis Winston. They go Mariota.
They go Jameis.
I personally think they're going to go with Winston. I don't know if that's a smart idea or not. But then other.
In terms of NFL ready, or in terms of NFL builds,
got the build.
it's Jameis Winston all the way. Marcus Mariota, great player, great talent. He's just not. He doesn't pass the eye test in terms of an NFL quarterback. Jameis Winston's a big guy. He looks a lot like Ben Roethlisberger, but who knows? He could be Jamarcus Russell. But I don't know. If anything, I think it comes down to personality. If the biggest knock on a player is his character, you got a good player. Yeah.
I think the Bucks might be desperate enough to just overlook that right now.
Yeah, they need someone. Their team that spent money on Josh McCown last year.
When was the last time they had a stable quarterback?
The Browns just spent money on Josh McCown. So
yeah, but they're the Browns.
Hey, don't be hating on my Browns, man.
They're the Browns for a reason.
That's true.
But I think Jameis Winston is definitely going to end up in Tampa Bay. I would love to see the Eagles pull a coup and trade all the way up and get Mariota. That'd be such a great fit.
Personally, I'm hoping that Amari Cooper drops. Again, personally for the Browns, we need a receiver. Amari Cooper has potential drop. You think about it. There's two other great receivers. Parker out of Louisville and White out of West Virginia.
Neither one of them is better than Cooper. Cooper was so good that they didn't talk about him. They didn't talk a lot about him in the combine because he was like of course type of player. They're like, oh, look at him running routes so crisp. Oh, of course, it's Amari Cooper.
Yeah, put this in perspective though. White had a great year at West Virginia. Put him on Alabama. Take Amari Cooper off Alabama. What's the difference? I think White's gonna be even better.
Yeah,
he's got a better team around him, got a better offensive line, got a better defense. You name it, they're better.
Yeah, but Alabama isn't a wide receiver factory. Amari Cooper is like a once.
Julio Jones. You're right, 100%. I think Julio Jones, Amari Cooper.
I can't think of anyone else.
I honestly, I really can't. I can't think of anybody else.
I think that Amari Cooper is better than Julio Jones. I think he's definitely the most talented player in this draft. He's not going to go number one because the Bucs need a quarterback, but I think the last time a receiver this talented came out was either A.J. Green or, bold to say, Calvin Johnson.
Yeah, I see a lot of A.J. Green in him. I really do. He's just a physically dominant receiver that is already NFL ready. You put him on an NFL team, and I bet his rookie year. This is just me going off the cuff. At least 75 catches, at least 1,000 yards, and 8 touchdowns.
Personally, I think
that's very easy for him to obtain. I really do.
I think Parker is going to have a better rookie campaign.
I don't know. I think Parker has bust written all over him. He's a guy that we didn't hear a lot about before the combine.
He was injured for most of the season, so you got to take health concerns in. But the dude's a stud, man. If you put him on the roster on the playing field when Louisville came to Clemson, I don't know if it comes down to that because we didn't play that well for most of the game, obviously until the last fourth.
The defense played out of their mind.
Oh, right, but you put Parker on that field, and I think it might have been a different outcome because I think Parker is a great receiver, and I think it's really going to be interesting to see how those three teams go.
I'm going to jump in real quick right there. You were mentioning that Parker didn't receive a whole lot of press from around the combine.
Oh, we have another caller.
caller.
Please.
Wow.
Hey, at least he didn't interrupt me. Are you
Thank
there?
you for calling. Go ahead.
Yeah, I've heard rumors that Deshaun is going to play tight end. Is that true?
What?
Deshaun who?
Deshaun Watson, probably.
Watson?
No.
What?
about kicker?
No. I don't know why Deshaun Watson would be playing tight end. I mean, who's gonna throw to him? Tucker Israel?
No, Deshaun's going to throw to Deshaun.
Oh, okay.
Deshaun's actually going to take
throw it off the
5 step
center's
back.
head.
He's going to throw, and then he's that good. He is that good.
All right, well, to say something serious,
Do you think he can throw 10,000 yards?
10,000 yards.
10,000 yards. That's
I do.
In his career?
Easily in a game.
10,000 passing, 10,000 rush?
Yeah, I think he can do it. Deshaun Watson is the greatest player to ever play football. Go
It
Tigers.
depends if he stays until his senior year or not, because, missing his entire freshman
Give
year.
him a couple years.
10,000 rushing yards is a little bit bold, though. I don't
That's
think
a
he
lot
gets
of
One
that
game.
one.
Oh, no, not 10,000 rushing yards. As a college
No,
quarterback.
God, not even.
I
You'd
don't
have
think
you'd
so.
have to be a 6-year senior to do that and play all 6 years.
He'd have to fail a couple of classes here and there. He
Yeah,
had a
but-
4.0 last semester, so I don't see it happening.
To actually address the question, I haven't.
Yards in one game.
Hold on, what's that?
If we played Wofford, he could run for 10,000 yards in one game.
I think you're right. 100%.
I don't think that's too bold. I think you can do it. I think you're undercrediting him a little
15,
bit.
15,000.
Why not 20?
Why not 20?
20,000?
Yeah, why not?
20,000 yards,
20,000
yes.
yards in a game.
Well,
Absolutely.
I think that's a little unreasonable, don't you think?
No, absolutely not. He would be scoring a touchdown every second. It's easy.
It's like a 100-yard pass.
Every second. It's like just.
Is going to play quarterback.
Deshaun's playing quarterback. Deshaun's playing quarterback. He's going to play quarterback until he declares for the NFL
might
draft.
overtake him.
No.
What was that?
Nobody's going to overtake Deshaun.
Who would overtake him?
No one.
She's
Nah.
pretty good.
Pending
Unless
some
Deshaun tears his
incredible
ACL.
recruit.
He will
Unless we have
not.
some incredible recruit
That is a
come
good.
in.
That is a good question though, because like Deshaun did get hurt a lot last year, and you got to wonder who would be the second quarterback
we
next
see
year.
him as being very injured, a very injured player. I mean, he's always getting hurt. Can
Yeah,
we
very
count on
injured.
him? Can we count on him to make it through the season? That's the question. Can we count on Deshaun Watson to make it through the season, to get us where we need to be, to get Dabo Swinney where he wants the team to be?
How'd you get an ESPN reporter?
What?
The girl, she's on ESPN, isn't she?
Yeah, we hired her this week.
Yeah.
She's just here for the
Straight out. Have you ever heard of Sage Steele or Doris Burke? Yeah.
Yeah, she's their mentor.
What is this?
Mentor.
All right, well, I'm
not
going
an
to.
ESPN, but where did that come from? Like,
Where did Deshaun Watson at tight end come from?
All right,
That's
well,
what
I haven't heard anything about him being switched to tight end. If he was to ever switch to any position, it would probably be wide receiver, and he would kind of run like a wide receiver running back type deal, but that's not happening. Unless
Ever.
he gets injured, he is kind of the Derrick Rose of college football, but I mean, I don't see it's going to happen.
If you need
And
help, hang up and then dial your operator.
All right, y'all.
this is the weirdest show.
This is.
Let's just cut it
this
now.
This is just weird.
I think that's it. I think
All right,
we're good.
what were we talking about?
Who cares?
Yeah,
We were talking about the draft.
It's
Talking
time to
about the
go.
draft.
I didn't know I was an ESPN. I mean, I'm working there to to be an ESPN reporter. Honestly, I'm trying to do that. That's why I'm here. But
I'm the next Stephen
I
A.
take that as a compliment, I guess.
You're the next Stephen A.
Yeah, this is the ESPN
I
pipeline right here.
refuse to be the next Skip Bayless.
Nobody
We
wants to
have
be the
another
next Skip
caller,
Bayless.
actually.
All right.
Sweet. Deshaun Watson's going to start at center. Are you there?
Hello?
Are you there?
Yeah.
I'm here.
How you doing?
So about that previous caller, I've actually also heard a rumor that Deshaun Watson is switching to tight end.
Okay, I'm just going to address it again. I have heard nothing like that, and I don't think any of my colleagues here have either.
Are they in the
There's an
same room?
article
Are
on
they-
TigerNet right now. It's trending on Twitter too.
Article on TigerNet.
Just wanted you to check it out. All right.
Well, that must be new information. Thank you for letting us in on that. Well, I guess now we can kind of talk about that if it's being posted somewhere. I think that'd be
No.
ridiculous.
No.
That's ridiculous.
Like I
it's
said,
not. It's not. No.
If he's to switch to any position, it's got to be wide receiver, and he would play some kind of flex deal. He's not big enough to play tight end. There's no way, and he's way too injury prone. The only way he would switch positions, though, is if his injuries turned out to be a real issue for him in the future, which could be possible because he got hurt 2 or 3 times this year, seriously. So I don't know if you guys.
And this is the same Deshaun Watson that came in, overtook Cole Stout, had an amazing freshman year.
That's not that
Well,
hard.
it's not that hard to take over Cole Stout, but still, he did it. And he had an amazing freshman year at quarterback, 6 touchdowns in the North Carolina game. No way does Deshaun Watson play anything but quarterback for the
He's
next 2 years.
the best quarterback we've ever had.
He's the best quarterback we've ever had. He's going to be a Heisman
Better
candidate.
than Taj.
He's going to be he's better than Taj.
Better than Taj,
He's better than
absolutely.
Taj. When
He's
he's
only played like 4 games. I think we might be taking a little.
We have good tight ends. I mean, we got Mylan Richard, who was redshirted last year.
I agree with him. I think we need to see him more on the field. He was hurt a lot.
I know we think he's
yeah,
great.
but
He
I
was
mean, in
great
high
these
school he
games.
was never hurt, ever. Not
True,
once.
but it's a different play
Was
style.
he ever under a lot of pressure in most? Like, okay, South Carolina, he was under a lot of pressure. He had a broken,
I can't even believe we're talking about this right now.
Yeah, it's
personally.
a stupid conversation right now.
The people
honestly.
who wrote that article probably didn't watch last year, because what Deshaun did when he was on the field was simply amazing. If he would have been on there for the whole entire season, he would have been the best
I
freshman.
mean, who would they have replace him if he did?
Exactly. I mean, they have a guy, a quarterback prospect that's coming
Unless
in,
they
but
had
he's
like
going.
a huge recruit that
He's
came
going
in
to
and
receiver.
That showed out.
Deshaun's not.
There's no
playing anything but
article on
quarterback.
Tigernet. I can almost
That's
guarantee
ridiculous.
you that. This is not a story. This is a no conversation.
Well, we're just gonna have to wait and see. This has gotten a little out of hand here. I don't know. What's next, Gabby? You have anything else?
All right, guys. So we've added something new to the show. It's going to be a game. We're going to play a game, and I need everyone to get out their whiteboards. What it's called is Who Has the Best Word. So I'm gonna talk about something in sports, and they have to write on their whiteboards one word that describes what I tell them. Okay. So we're going to start in just a few seconds. So everybody gets ready. Is everybody ready?
Let's try it.
So the first phrase is LeBron James as MVP. One word, guys.
If I can spell.
LeBron James as MVP. All right, we have one whiteboard up. We have Zach's board up. Okay. We have Nick's boards up.
I'm gonna go ahead and wait for them to go first because I think I'm
Zach's
gonna
one says
contradict.
no. I know.
Why
LeBron
no?
James, why no?
Why no? Because there's a person in the NBA named James Harden.
Oh, come on.
Yeah,
All right.
No.
Mine's even better. We
King.
can
I
see
like
it.
it. I like it.
King, my marker sucks. King. It's King James, man. And we got, I think, 20 games left. A lot of basketball to be played. Don't count them out. King James all the way. Go Cavs.
All right, well, I think I'm going to cement myself here as the person that disagrees with Andy the most. My word is ludicrous. It is ridiculous
Luda.
to think that he's going to be the MVP because Stephen Curry has it locked up. He already bought a trophy case for it. It's sitting in his house, and he's just, he hired somebody to clean it every day to make sure it's all ready for the day.
All right, guys, I got 2 more questions for you. The second question is, one word describe the change of pace rule in the MLB. Change of pace rule in the MLB. We need some like music going with this.
Yo, my whiteboard is all FUBAR right now. Sat on it or something. I don't know.
Does anybody have your answer yet?
Man, no one knows what that means, Taylor. Calm down.
You have 5 seconds.
All right, guys, when you're ready.
I'm ready. I hope I
ready.
spelled this word right.
All right. Zach says finally. Why is that?
You see guys stepping outside of the box after a strike or a ball, and they just screw around with their sleeves, unbuttoning, unstrapping gloves, taking practice swings, walking around. Hell, they could text their girlfriend if they wanted to with how much time they've been given. It's about time there's time restrictions. I'm tired of baseball games lasting 5 hours. No, it's all because guys are just milling around with their gloves and stuff. It's about time. Finally.
All right, mine.
Anderson, what is yours? Genius. I like it.
Genius. Sports and entertainment have been all about evolutionizing the game to make the viewers or to give the viewers what they want. A lot of people love the fact that baseball can take forever. It's an endless game. That's why they love baseball. But a lot of people that want to get into the sport really can't because it's so long. Literally, games are lasting 3.5 hours. So it is a genius move by them to nothing major, really nothing major. It's just minor, simple stuff.
It's like a shot clock for how long you have to get in the box.
It's not even that. It's really just you got to stay in the box. You really can't do all the cool things that people want to do. It's a genius move. Nothing too major. It's really gonna affect the game. I'm looking forward to see not only how it works, but how the players react to it come the actual season. So I think that's a great move by the MLB to do.
Yep.
All right,
Same.
Nick, what's your whiteboard?
All right,
please?
yet again, a little bit different than you guys. Boring. Okay, and this is not the actual rule itself. It's the news to me. I think it's a great rule and it's a good change that they made, but the news just,
It's too much.
I don't know, it's just not interesting enough really for me.
You're
it's
boring.
it's just a very kind of low key rule. It's something that, I'm glad they did it, but I don't think we need to be making that big of a fuss about it.
All right, guys, the last question, and then we're going to go into who actually won the whiteboard challenge. So the last question is, me as the next quarterback for the Cleveland Browns.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
All right, I'm gonna need more than a couple words here.
You can only use one word. This is supposed to be like the funny question, so only one word.
Give me that. Give me that right now. She's
Me
trashing
as
my
the
Browns.
quarterback for the Cleveland Browns.
Be a downgrade, but not by much.
Is that how you spell it?
Oh, that hurts me, man. That hurts. Give me the marker. My marker sucks. I hate you.
I don't know if that's how you spell it. I'm gonna wing it here.
Let's hope that's how you spell it. All right. Jack has his board up. It says improvement. I like it. Improvement.
Browns.
The Cleveland the Cleveland Browns have had more quarterbacks than I can't find a good analogy, but they've had so many. I saw a picture on Twitter where a guy.
They've had coaches.
That's incredible. They've had more quarterbacks than they've been around. Like the years they've been around since '96. They've had more quarterbacks since that.
About 2 a year, so it averages out, I guess.
Well,
Hey, to be fair, we didn't get back till '99. We moved to Baltimore in '95 or '94. So just saying, we weren't there for 4 years,
All
so
right.
we had to restart. All right, mine.
I wasn't done.
Oh, sorry. Oh my God.
The Cleveland Browns their quarterbacks are just god awful, and Gabby
Get it.
Bates' quarterback, that would take them to the next level. They would go straight to the Super Bowl. That's what they need. They need Gabby Bates as quarterback.
I'm gonna go right along the same. Mine's 3 words, but 3 letters, which makes only 1 word. HOF. Hall of Fame. Get Gabby in there now. We need something. We drafted Brandon Whedon in the first round. Okay,
You drafted a 38-year-old man.
Over Russell Wilson, have you?
You
Over
drafted-
Russell Wilson, please. God, get Gabby in there. Do something. I don't care. Not Brandon Whedon. Not Josh McCown.
You guys
Do
drafted-
something. We drafted a druggie who's now in rehab. We drafted Brandon Whedon, who's a 28-year-old redhead. What else can go wrong for the Browns? Please, just draft somebody good. Mariota, please, if you're watching, which nobody is. Please, come to Cleveland. We need you. We need you,
You guys drafted a 38-year-old, 10-year senior and a drug addict. Anything would be better.
Get outta here.
Anything.
Red hair. What was red hair?
Oh my God.
I'm done with
So,
this.
Nick, what's
Game
your,
over.
All right,
your,
final word. Sure. Why not? You look at them.
else could go
What do they
wrong?
got? They got Johnny Meltdown, Johnny Benchwarmer, Johnny Snickers,
Johnny
commercial,
Clipboard.
Johnny Rehab. Who cares? He
Johnny
was
Good
one
Good.
of the worst investments I think I've ever seen in the NFL in recent years. The worst thing since Jamarcus Russell, but nothing will ever top that.
I wouldn't count him
Nothing
out
will
yet.
ever top that.
Won't count Johnny Manziel out yet, just yet.
I've counted him out.
Give him 2 more years.
After
That's all I'm
his
saying.
second Snickers commercial, I put him when you dressed up as a woman. I put him out.
Yeah, that was
But
it. That was it. When he put on leg warmers and
Yeah,
sweatbands,
I think
that was
at
it.
this point, us 4, we might as well start out. We might as well try out for the Browns. It could work out very well. Gabby's a strong quarterback. We'll see.
Got that strong arm.
All right, guys, so now I want to give points. So the first question was LeBron James MVP, and I liked Anderson's board.
Terrible.
I
Shut
agree
up.
with him.
Terrible.
I like LeBron James.
Thank
totally
you.
agree with you.
Thank you.
For
That's
the second
1 point.
question, one word to describe the change of pace from the MLB.
Give that to me again.
I have to go with
to me
Anderson again.
Ooh.
I did. I
Ow.
like Anderson.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm here every Wednesday at 8:15.
Unfortunately.
Hey, man.
It's too long.
I think Anderson
No.
has just swept the whiteboard competition.
I got the third
because
one?
He gets the third one. Hall of Fame.
Come on, no, there's no way.
So, that made me sound like such a stud.
Hell yeah,
all,
bro.
This is terrible. This
I think
show
we can
is
use the
this show is
Scrabble rule
fixed.
here. We can use the Scrabble rule. Abbreviations are not allowed. He technically put 3
I said
letters, which is
fixed,
not a word,
Taylor.
and it meant 3 words. So.
All right, that just means that
Automatic
next
DQ.
week we need
Mic drop.
somebody needs to step up there.
Drop the mic.
Just saying.
All right, I'm-
Clean sweep from Anderson Rathman. I'm out. Drop
Step up
mic.
your game,
One word to
guys.
describe that: BS.
That's 2 words.
Yeah,
All
well,
right,
so is Hall of
everyone,
Fame. You lose.
That's it for our show. Tune in next Wednesday at 8 o'clock to get on the action. We got another new game coming up. We're really excited about it. So tune in next week, and don't forget to call us. Thanks, guys.